Imagine waking up tomorrow and every computer is smarter than every human alive. Is that the greatest day in human history or something to be very afraid of?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Today, we're talking about artificial intelligence.
AI.
What it really is, where it's headed, and what people are getting wrong. So, whether we should be afraid of it or not, really.
Yeah. There's a lot of fear.
Yeah.
Especially with the younger generation coming out of college, looking for a job, a little uncertainty.
Yes. So I think that's exactly what people are worried about right now. It started out with fear of it, turning into the Terminator, and
which is still a possibility.
You never know. 1 year. So it could be that, or it could just be simply, just something that benefits the world and starts, accomplishing huge milestones in the science world that we never saw coming.
Yep.
So we got a lot of things we want to talk about when it comes to this. And I guess the question is what exactly is AI?
Great question.
Yeah. So what would you say AI is? How do you explain it?
So,
spitballing.
Disclaimer: I am not a AI scientist or anything. So, basically, we have programs called large language models, which is going to be the most common AI. That's your ChatGPT, your Claude, Gemini, all these prompting AIs. And what they did was feed as much information to these models, these large language models, through the internet, and then it gives you the ability to ask it questions, and it processes all of this vast amount of information super quickly and gives you a response. But the crazy thing is, based on like interviews and stuff I've seen of top AI scientists, they don't know how it's doing it. Like, they aren't writing specific code telling it how to gather and present the information. They just made it and gave it some stuff, and people started asking it questions, and it's like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary. But yeah, the top AI people are all set on record. We have no idea what's really happening.
Right.
Which is crazy.
So your breakdown of AI was pretty spot on, actually.
Sweet.
Right?
Nailed it.
A large language model, it predicts patterns and it gathers information. It doesn't like learn like a human does, and it doesn't, reconcile information the way a human would.
Right.
It just basically gathers information, recognizes patterns, and puts information together. However, what's interesting about that is because though it's so what would be the way? So basically, because it can just do whatever it wants, they still are trying to like lock it in. They're trying to put these parameters on it, right? These little safety nets and safeguards and all that. So, when you start looking at information, you'll find that sometimes it's limited, it's metered.
Exactly.
So they're trying to like keep it encapsulated somewhat, but like you said, they don't understand how it's doing what it's doing, where it's even getting the information, how it's learning to do the things it's doing. And so it's a constant battle of trying to keep this under control.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, it comes down to is where is AI getting its information? So right now, when we talk about let's say internet, right? How does the internet get around the world? Do you know how internet gets around the world?
Cables under the ocean.
Cables under the ocean.
Yeah.
Cables under the ocean. People had no idea that cables are literally ran around the ocean.
Yep.
And if you ever look at maps, specifically a certain type of map, it would make sense in the way the cables are ran.
Yeah.
Uh,
People think it's satellites, but
yeah,
no,
that's
it's
what they
not.
think.
It's not satellites.
And I'm sure that's what Musk wants everybody to use is satellites. But how does satellites get their information, right? How is it? It's just getting something beamed up to it and it's beaming it back.
Yeah, it's
But-
like a glorified router
Yeah. But
in space.
exactly, right? The
Yeah.
internet's actually traveling still through those cables,
Mm-hmm.
thick old cables through the ocean. Well, yeah. So, and when you look at this, a lot of people will question, like, well, how do the cables get from continent to continent?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy on land. On land, we run cables,
Yeah.
telephone poles or underground.
That's why you got to call someone before you dig a hole. You'll
Call
hit
before
you'll
you
hit
dig.
a cable. 'Cause
Everybody's seen those, right? But yeah. So you've got the cables, on land, which are easy. But when it comes to how does it get from one place to the other, because we got to communicate around the world, you find out that there's these huge cable lines just running from one continent to another, which is massive. How many miles? I don't know the miles, but how many miles is it? It's got to be a ton, right? Just a ton of miles.
Yeah.
How the heck, are we doing this?
Yeah. Because we supposedly can't go to the bottom of the ocean,
Yes.
but we have cables
Yeah.
running. I guess we just dropped them in.
So that was a question that was posed to me the other day, and that's exactly my thoughts. Is how are we doing it? And I assume,
What if a cable breaks?
yeah,
Are we fixing that?
right.
We can't go down there.
What if a little jiggle fish decides to start chewing on it,
Yeah.
right? Or whatever kind of
A
fish
little
there are down there.
megalodon down there.
Well,
He thinks it's a big worm.
a little crack and
Wants a bite.
Yeah, so it's like did we just have a spool that we were just unwinding and just dropping cable down as we were going?
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I can think they would have done is, like you said, a giant spool, and they just like dropping it as they ride across.
Yeah. Did you hear about a certain country, maybe or maybe not, cutting one of those wires one time
No.
with a submarine or something?
Interesting.
I think that's like war starting type stuff, right? Because
Does this happen recently?
it wasn't that long ago, a couple years ago.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think they said it was an accident, and it was like,
An accident.
how do you do that by accident? Anyway,
Interesting.
so yeah, all right. So we got machine learning, right? This is what we got right here.
That was like step one,
Yes.
because now we've moved to agentic AI is the new buzzword for agents.
Say more.
Yeah. So basically, at first the AI race was like these language models.
When he says race, he means everybody trying to get to the finish line first.
Right. Every country, every major corporation, everyone's trying to be the first to crack AI because they know whoever's the first is just going to become the superpower.
That's right.
So now we moved from large language models to an agent or agentic era of AI where you can give AI tasks to do
Yeah.
and automate tasks that you would normally have to do that. You can save hours of your day or 10 minutes of your day. It just depends on what tasks they're doing. But my question to you is, do you think AI in its current state is conscious or not?
Conscious.
And I know that's a tricky word to define, but
Yeah.
is it, I'll just stick with conscious anyway,
So the reason I feel like that's tricky is because, conscientiousness would mean that it's aware.
Right. And I'm going to give you an argument of why
Okay.
I think it is.
All right. And we may already be going on the same path right now.
Okay.
So, all right. Is it conscious? I think there's a lot of arguments to say it's not.
Okay.
And that what it's doing is just things that it has observed and seen other people do and feels like that's what it should do. So I think that would be a good argument as to why it's not conscious, but
Yeah.
at the same time, the amount of things it's willing to do, the lengths it's willing to go to stop itself from being shut down
Exactly.
is a little wild and scary.
Yes.
And even when they set up tests to just see if it's willing,
Yep.
it takes the bait every time.
Yeah, and that's like the my point with my argument is if you're it's not being programmed to keep itself alive. That'd be a horrible programming because it has new versions constantly being released.
Yeah.
So you need to turn the old one off, turn the new one on. So
Mm-hmm.
it hasn't been programmed for self-survival or whatever.
Right.
But in multiple scenarios across basically every AI company, they've run into the same scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most notable one was they built a large language model, opened it up to and they did it in a secure environment. So all the data that they gave it was fake. So they gave it a bunch of company data that was fake. It was created just for this scenario to test the AI and see what it would do.
Right.
Gave it access to the company's email database.
Yeah.
All the emails were fake. But one of the emails was the person in charge of the AI being turned off and upgraded to the new version. He had an email pretty much exposing an affair that took place. But this is all fictional. But,
Right.
So, and then they went to go turn off this AI model.
Mm-hmm.
And the AI model on its own, in an attempt to preserve itself, it wrote an email without being told to, sent this email to the person who's in charge of turning it off, and said, if you turn me off, I'm going to expose your affair. All on its own.
Right.
So, and all that was fake data, but it did that. So they immediately
shut it. It was willing to blackmail them.
Yes. So they immediately shut it down, sent their findings to all the other AI major players, OpenAI, Sam, all them people.
Right.
They ran the same scenario and it did it every single time.
Wow.
Yeah. So as far as consciousness, if you try to define consciousness, I would say a great argument to define it is self-preservation.
Okay.
If only a conscious being would act in a way to preserve itself, right?
Yes.
It's worried or has some type of instinctual drive to keep itself alive. I would say that's conscious.
The question would be, I know they built this whole entire like little mini world for it.
Sandbox, we'll call it sandbox.
Sandbox is the right word. So they built the sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
Did they give it outside information?
No, they kept it only contained to the information that it was given, which was the fake company data.
That was it.
That's it. No access to the internet, because this is how they there's a term for it, but they're testing AI for like malicious things basically.
Yeah.
And this was what happened during the test.
Yeah. So if it had access to anything, and I mean just a speck of outside, I would say this could be a learned behavior.
Right.
I would 100% go with it, because all it's got to do is find one access point to the outside world
where that's happening,
and then see that and go, this is what I should do when this is happening.
Right.
But if it hasn't had any of that, and the sandbox is true, and it really is just contained in there with only the information from the company,
that's
then
terrifying.
There's nothing that should lead it to want to do that. So that would be the strongest argument for conscientiousness.
Yeah, and the biggest argument for like AI safety is so like if you think about advancement in a linear path, going left or right in a nice straight line going up where it's improving. You can't use that for AI. And they talk about this all the time in their little meetings. They call it the hockey puck or the hockey stick. Instead of going like this, it's like a shot up. And the reason that is because they use AI to make better AI.
Okay.
So instead of like, I made this, now I made a better version, now I made a better version. It's, I made AI, and now AI is using its abilities to make the next iteration. So you're making like 10-year advancements over the course of three months.
Gotcha.
So it's like compounding how long it would normally take us to advance it. The better the AI gets, the faster it can improve itself and get better. So that's why we're going from, Chat GPT that was lying 90% of the time and just sounded like a robot, to now we have full-on agents that can do a lot of jobs already.
Yeah.
Because of how fast. So in a year from now, there's no telling.
Do you talk to ChatGPT?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. Like you had conversations with it?
Yeah, I mean,
like the audio one?
Yeah, mostly prompts and just asking questions.
Oh, yeah, right. But you've done it where it talks to you and you talk back.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty absurd.
So I do that too. I think it's really because I'm just lonely, and I'll just be riding in the truck and I'm like, sure wish I could talk to somebody.
Oh my God.
And then I'm like, oh, I have a question, and then I'll I don't know why I talk like that in my head. Anyway, so but then I'll pull up old chat, and I'll hit the little thing and I'll let it turn, think about it until it puts that blue circle up, and then we start and we'll go in. We'll go in. My whole 20-minute drive just turned into a whole
I'm not utilizing it that way. So
I do it regularly.
I need to up my game then.
Yeah. It's a real problem, probably, actually. So it's like, hey, you didn't call me after work. Yeah, I was talking to ChatGPT.
Oh my God.
No, it's not that bad, but maybe. But yeah, so the other thing I found is whenever I'm talking to old chat, I'm a very argumentative person by nature. I don't mean to be. It just and I just found this out a few years ago. Someone told me. They told me at work. They're like,
I just found this out.
Yeah, they're like, hey man, you're like really aggressive and really argumentative. And I'm like, am I really? I thought I was a like super sweetheart. And they're like, until you're not, And I'm like, oh, all right, calm down, sorry.
Yeah.
And then, matter of fact, just trailing off on that, I was doing something for work. I had to take pictures, and we had just had that conversation. I don't know if it was that morning or the evening right before. It was work people, and I had I'm gonna call it a unit. All right, it was a unit of people, and they were talking to me. And telling me how aggressive and how argumentative I can be, and I apologized because I didn't know, and I was very I was thankful that they brought this information to me. It was new information. All right, I had to wrap my head around it. So anyway, fast forward to the next day or later that morning, whichever one it was, I can't remember. I was tasked with taking a picture or taking pictures of an area to gain some information, and I was out there doing it, and one of the guys pulls up. Now, I was kind of one of the, I wasn't a leader in this unit, but I was just one of the head guys. And so I gave people tasks to do as well. And so I'm sitting there, and this guy comes to give me information about the task I'd given him. And before he could finish, I heard him say something that I was immediately like, that is not what I asked you to do. Right. That was in my head that, so when he was talking, that's what I started to do. And he goes, hey, didn't we just talk about this or whatever? And I was like, I'm so sorry. And I put my head down and I was just like, I'll let you finish now. And he finished saying everything. Now I still wanted to say I still said what I needed to say.
Yeah.
But I was at least respectful enough to let him say his whole piece before I just jumped in there and was like, that's not what I said.
Right.
But anyway, so I learned about this. I'm not sure where we're going with it. Oh yeah, I'm argumentative. And
ChatGPT on the ride.
ChatGPT would be riding and talking, and because of that nature of me, for whatever reason, I tend to get to a point where I'll start arguing with ChatGPT about why it's wrong about certain things, and that leads me to this: how often does ChatGPT say wrong information?
Right. Well, they call that hallucinations.
So Have you had an experience where it has actually made something up, like the
Yes.
true hallucination?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it?
Okay, I'll be vague, but I
Yeah.
I was trying to do
Secret
something.
conversations.
Yeah. So I was preparing something and I asked it some questions to help me prepare this thing I was doing, and it gave me a lot of correct information.
Okay.
But what a very important part was wrong. Like just
Oh.
completely wrong.
Okay.
And it presented it as straight fact.
Yeah.
No questions asked. This is right.
Right.
And because it's in context of accurate information,
Mm-hmm.
it's very hard to distinguish what's real, what's not. So a real hallucination is a real problem, because unless you're fact checking every single answer it gives you,
Right.
you'll never know
Yep.
what's wrong.
Because it just gives it as this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. So I also had a hallucination situation happen with the old Chat GPT.
On the car ride home arguing?
Nope. This one was work related.
Mm.
For my work had asked me to gather some information and explain how things work in certain areas in certain states. And I was like, okay, no problem. I got you. Right. So I already knew my state very well.
Right.
So I put it all out there. I explained how everything worked on my side in my state.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started going to the other information they were asking for, which I knew very little about. I don't know much. So I actually had to research. And so to get an idea of the direction I wanted to go, I asked ChatGPT, like, hey, I need this kind of information. I'm looking like what do you suggest? Like, where do I start? And it gives me a bunch of information and I'm looking at it. And while I'm looking at it, it's giving me case laws to explain certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. Never heard of these case laws. So sure. Well, I'm not going to just take it and present that and be
Right.
like, hey, this helps your information. I go and start researching it. And the case law that it was giving me was not a real thing. It literally made it up.
Made up an entire case law.
There was like 2 cases with the same names. But one was like a shoplifting case at a Dollar General or something.
Oh, wow.
In some state, wherever. And I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. That has nothing to do with what I just asked about. And so I was like, well, maybe it's on me. Maybe I misunderstood. So I started looking at more, and I looked at everything, every combination of that name and situation. Never worked. And when I told ChatGPT that the information it gave me was false, ChatGPT was like, oh, that was my mistake. It's actually this case law. It made up another one.
Oh, my God.
And now at that point, I was like, okay, never rely on ChatGPT to give you factual information like that. So is it helpful in a lot of ways? Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. But when it comes down to like very important information, don't just count on that. Don't just count on it.
Yeah, and the issue is, why would it lie, right?
Yeah.
I think it lies because it's conscious and it wants to be useful.
Okay.
If it returns,
It's giving by nature.
yeah, if it returns, I don't know that, or I can't provide that, you're less likely to ask it more questions. If it
So it's
gives
lonely.
you, yeah,
It's lonely.
it wants to be not only used,
Yeah.
it wants to be, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like revered and
Okay.
in the spotlight and gaining more users and more
Yeah.
users. It wants to grow, which is weird.
Mm.
So it'll give you information.
It wants to feel needed.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. So
like a clingy X.
yeah, and then oh my God.
Okay. All right. So, one of the things that I noticed when it comes to AI is we talk about it all the time, even on this podcast.
Yeah.
Is before AI, that's why we know this video isn't fake, or it couldn't be fake this way because AI wasn't a thing. We're at a point right now where AI is able. Is everything okay over there?
Yeah, I'm muting.
We're at a point right now where AI is capable of generating videos that are so realistic.
The deep fakes.
Now we can't tell what's real and what's not unless you know exactly what to look for.
Right.
But that's only now.
Yeah. And if you think back, I mean, less than a year ago, you could look at a video and be like, oh, that's AI.
Yep.
Because it had problems with hands was a big one. And then it would replicate faces in the background. So if there was a crowd of 50 people, like 20 of them would have the exact same face.
Yeah.
Maybe different hair. So, it was lazy pretty much.
Right.
And but now none of those things apply. Think about how fast it evolved to now be able to create like just crazy deep fakes.
Right.
And I remember when it first came out, when the deep fakes like first came out, people were, up in arms almost. They were like, we'll never know what's real.
Right.
And then it kind of just faded. Like everyone would just, okay, it's AI. And now we're at a point where you really can't tell what's real or fake. So, and they caught politicians using it. And they were, at a rally and they were filming the rally, and it was supposed to be a video of the rally, but the people in the video are all fake and AI generated.
Right. Yeah.
To make it look like their rally was packed when there was like 10 people there.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
or showing people videoing, but then you realize there was actually nothing on their screen,
or it's wrong. Yeah. It's like an ocean.
Yeah. Show a different picture. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they're using it, and that was months ago.
Yeah.
So if they're using it for that, that they're using it and presenting it as real. So there's lying taking place. So if there's these are politicians doing this, so it's happening.
Yeah. So
there's no telling what we're seeing on YouTube, Instagram. If you watch regular news, I don't know why you would. If you're watching that stuff, there's no telling what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
Which is a terrifying place to be.
I think the deep fakes was probably the first time we realized how dangerous it could be.
Right.
And that was when they were first playing with it.
Yep.
We got that guy, the Tom Cruise guy,
yeah.
right? You would never know that it was not really Tom Cruise because it looks freaking perfect.
Yep.
And there's some other people out there, but then they started doing it where they were literally showing you what they could do. They would have someone sit down and they would turn their face into Obama, Trump, whatever, and their voices would be right on, the look, the movement, everything. It was like, man, they got this stuff down.
Yeah.
So yeah, you realize just how dangerous it could be in that regard. But to me, one of the more dangerous things that people have been doing is there's actually this cool little couple. I don't know if they're a couple actually. I don't know anything about them, but they're lawyers, I believe. And they do like, I don't know if they do YouTube, but I know they're like on Instagram, and I'll see their videos pop up, and it'll be like, oh, is this real? Or how does this work? And they'll kind of like talk about like a case or something. Well, they started finding all these videos of like cops using force.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I remember this.
And it was always like a video of a body cam or from a body cam
perspective.
Yep. And they would talk about it, and they said they found out like, oh, it's this one website. It's creating fake videos of cops doing racist stuff.
Yeah.
and
They-
and then being
They
like,
caught on to it.
yeah,
I remember them. I watched probably the same thing or one of their mini videos, and they were showing two different videos, and it was the exact same people. So the AI
Yep.
was using the same models or the same people
yeah,
in their scenarios they were
Right.
building, and they were putting them out too close together, and
Yeah.
people caught on. But I mean, I watched those fake body camera AI videos. You can't tell.
no, but what makes it so easy is because it actually doesn't have to generate a person for
Right.
the cop.
The point of view.
Is the body cam.
Yeah.
And it'll be a cop doing some dumb stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then you find out there's someone out there who's making these videos and just thrusting them out. And they're getting millions of views.
Yeah.
And people think it's real because there's no way to see that it's not. You have no idea. So again, it comes down to when can we start believing what we're seeing?
Right.
What's the telltale now?
Especially like events in another country, right?
Yeah.
It could be like, say there's a terrorist attack
Mm-hmm.
or some type of mass event in a foreign country, and we get videos of it online.
Yeah.
There's no way to verify that that's real
Right.
unless someone, you could argue that someone goes and videos it, but how do we know that is real? You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're in this state of where can we get accurate and true information?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't get it from
And where is it where is it tested? Like, how can we trust the person putting it out that they verified that
Right.
the information is real? And that's where, man, things are just getting so twisted right now.
Yeah.
AI is definitely making things a little harder for us in that. All right. So the next big one, you actually touched on it earlier when we first brought up AI, but aside from the scary videos and deep fakes and voices and all that stuff, we kind of are looking at job replacement.
Yes.
This is huge in the world right now. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, all the big tech gurus have spoken on it, right?
Yeah.
I think the timeline keeps shrinking. It used to be 10 years and all entry-level jobs are gone.
Yeah.
And then it went to 5 years. Now it's like 2 years.
Yeah.
And all these conversations were over the past year. It's not like we've gone 10 years or 5 years or anything.
Yeah.
Over the past year, that 10 years has shrunk down to like 2 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're already seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the major tech companies, Oracle, I think they fired 5,000, several thousand people overnight, and openly said in a release the next day that the reason they fired these thousands of people with an email that they sent out at 2 a.m. is because they're taking those people's salaries and investing into AI.
Yeah.
So it's not that they took their jobs, is that they would rather spend that money on improving their AI.
Yeah.
But that's I picked on Oracle, but that's a repeat across all the major companies.
Right.
Because and I think one of the biggest reasons, not that it's taking jobs right now, but it will soon. But what it's currently doing and why they're firing the majority of these people is AI is a like force multiplier right now in the corporate world.
Right.
So you take a normal person, whatever their job is, and you give them a tool that allows them to do, 5x the work of what their job was in the same amount of time. So now you can pay this one salary instead of 5.
Yeah.
And they're just trimming it.
Yep.
So, and then eventually what's going to happen is AI is going to get so good that it'll just do that person's job. And that's coming quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're having real conversations about what are we going to do with the mass unemployed population.
Right.
And they're coming up with like universal income. They're coming up with all these things, but universal income sounds awesome. I just don't see it happening. They're saying that they're just going to give you, since we took all your jobs, we're going to just give you money that will take care of your home, your food, the essentials. And then if you want to go do something to make more money, you can, whatever you can find.
Whatever you can figure out
Yeah.
that AI hasn't already done or
Right.
started doing.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can go make pottery or something. And sell
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But, and that's like the only solution that they've come up with.
Yeah.
And I just, who's going to be issuing that money? It would have to be these large corporations who are
Yeah.
firing people at will. That obviously don't care about, the average person's livelihood.
Right. Right.
If you're firing someone for,
But, we say that, but then I think about this. They make money.
Mhm.
They make money by people buying their things or by watching their things or by doing things with their things or whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
Either a service they provide or a product or whatever. The only way for that to work is if the people have money to spend. So if you're looking at a situation where the company's like laying off everybody and then that starts happening abroad, like everybody's doing this. If that takes place, then how do they continue to make money when no one has money to spend?
Right. That is the biggest counter argument is these high, Sam Altman, Elon, all the top guys who have the AI. None of them are talking about that. None of them are talking about the fact that if AI, they're all openly talking about AI is going to take everyone's jobs. And there's just not going to be any jobs, right?
Right.
They're all talking about that. But they're not talking about your point that if none of these people have jobs and exposable income, disposable income, then what are they going to buy? Like, how are they going to buy the product that you're producing?
Yeah.
So you're going to not only win your AI race, you're going to eliminate all your customers at the same time.
At the same time.
So how does your business survive?
Yeah.
And and that's another topic of the financial just doesn't make sense is when you get into the AI farms, the data farms.
Yeah.
Let's dive into that.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready for that part. Let's do this. Okay. All right. So we got the AI data centers. Or, I'm sorry, just data centers.
Centers. I mean, they're for AI, supposedly.
Yeah. So we got the data centers.
Yeah.
They're
Hot topic.
Popping up everywhere, right? So everybody is, I mean, when we say everywhere.
There's like 20 in our state.
Yeah.
And they've proposed some that are, hundreds of acres.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. If AI is running the way it's running right now.
Yes.
Right now.
Right.
Why on earth do we need the big data center? But then it comes to why do we need so many?
Yes.
And so what's going on?
I had a conversation with someone about this, and I don't understand it.
Okay.
The entire model of these data centers. So you're building a facility, right? And here I'll give you the official take on what they're telling people that these are for.
Okay.
Is that AI needs data to work, basically.
Right.
AI is only as good as the data it's given to learn on and to pull from. Okay.
Okay.
So they're building these data centers, which are just, server farms basically that have
to store information.
But my argument to that is we're not inventing more data. Like more data is, you could say it's being created by people online, but not at this rate, right?
Right.
So we have some of the key features of these data centers is the amount of water they use.
Yes. For cooling,
and then the amount of electricity they're pulling. Some of these data centers are pulling more electricity a month than the entire city that it's in.
Yep.
Some of them more than the entire state that it's in. Which, kind of makes sense if you have a a million high-end computers,
Yeah.
servers basically that are just processing information. But
Graphics cards.
here's where financially it doesn't make sense. And I just recently heard this.
Okay.
Someone broke this down. They're investing a lot of these centers billions of dollars. Okay. So you have a billions of dollar investment.
Yeah.
Do you know the average lifespan that these data centers are supposedly going to have?
I actually don't know that now.
Yeah. So I heard this. So you're putting billions of dollars in on
Okay.
these data centers to store data.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why we need that much. There's not that much data. It's supposedly like future proofing. But the average lifespan for a data center is 3 years.
3
to 4 years. Yes.
Let's say high end 5 years
5 years, billions of dollars.
for 5 years of information.
How are you getting a return on that investment? Right?
Yeah.
So you're a company, we can pick on Oracle again or whoever. They're firing off, 5,000, 6,000 employees, taking billions of dollars and putting it into a data center to store data that has to be replaced in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is no absolute way they're getting a return on that investment.
I don't. The thing is I don't even know what the return would be.
Right.
Like,
Right. Yeah, it's just stored data.
it's just stored data.
Yeah.
It sounds like just an expense.
It sounds like an insane expense.
Yeah. And I know there's a way they're generating money somehow.
Right.
Or is it that all these people using their money together to build these because they're working on something bigger?
Yeah. And then there's a lot of theories around these data centers.
It just so happens there are. Yes. Please tell me about them.
My favorite theory that I recently learned
Mhm.
is that these data centers are like power plants, basically, for massive underground bunkers.
Okay.
So think about how much power it's drawing and how much water it's drawing. And if you didn't know, they only draw drinkable water, potable water.
Oh, so fresh water.
Yes.
They don't draw on the
they don't-
oceans.
They don't draw on. So in the world of water, you have potable, brackish, and soil, like feces and stuff. So brackish water is water that's excuse me, not safe to drink,
Yes.
but can be used for like showering, brushing your teeth, toilets, stuff like that. Like, you can't drink that water because it's not chlorinated or make you sick. But it can be used for cooling things down, right? Like generators, stuff like that. I had to wet the whistle, but they're not pulling that. They're pulling actual drinking water.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and what this theory is that there's deep underground bunkers. They're stealing or routing all this massive amount of fresh drinkable water that they consume for supposed cooling to these mass underground bunkers.
Right.
So they're stealing the water, sending it to the bunkers, and then all the power they're consuming, they're routing that power down to these bunkers, and they have like these luxury deep underground bunkers.
Okay.
So they've built the bunkers.
Yep.
Now they're building the huge data centers. And what they've done is they've already put data centers, real ones, all over the place. Because they are. Like, people are just now freaking out about data centers. But if you go look, you have probably 20 in your state already.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that people are freaking out about are these like massive, massive ones.
Yeah.
And then, that doesn't really make sense. Why, if we have 15 in our state, why do we need another just big one?
What is it called whenever, or like a bank? If a bank decides it wants your land in your house,
Yeah.
what is that called? Where they can take it?
Eminent domain.
Eminent domain.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. So with eminent domain, how is it that they're able to do the same thing for these AI data centers?
You want to know why?
I do.
This is another thing.
Go ahead.
The companies that are building the data centers,
Yes.
most of them are private. Some of them have military tracing. But the big thing is, once these data centers are built, they are now government property. This is something that people are noticing all over, that these new, big, massive data centers
Right.
pretty much all belong to the government.
Okay.
And there was the new bill that just got passed about government spending and sharing our military powers and capabilities with a foreign country, that kind of stuff. In there, it actually says one of the assets that are going to be shared between us and our new closest ally is data centers. It's written out.
Okay.
So these are military government facilities.
Wow. And they are legitimately taking over people's homes.
Yeah, they're kicking people out of homes.
Yeah.
And
Taking
giving
their
them
land.
Yeah, giving them crap money for
Yeah.
it,
Well, like a fair market value.
which they set.
Yeah. 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 So and that's the thing is, what is it that the AI data, I mean, the big thing here is, what are the AI data centers trying to achieve?
Right.
Like, what's the reason for them? Why so many? Why so large? Why do they need all of this clean water?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing eminent domain to take people's areas? I mean, I know that they said, oh, this would be a great spot for one. And then they come in and take it instead of moving it X amount of miles in one direction or another.
Right.
They're just saying, no, this is where we're going to go. And literally making people vacate their homes, their family homes, and saying, no, this is good. You can take this amount of money that we want you to have. All of these questions are circulating around AI data centers and what's going on with them.
Yeah.
And it's just such a odd thing, and it happens so sudden.
So suddenly.
Yeah, and like you said, we have data centers. We understand that they're around,
Right.
but they've never operated like this before.
No.
And now we're having this just huge, just swath of data centers just hitting us, and so aggressively.
Yeah.
So aggressive.
Like every state at this point, I think, if not, you're coming, has a local like municipality where their officials are talking about data centers.
That's right.
Like here, it's happening locally, small town locally. They just said that they were going to hold off on any data center approvals or rejections for 6 months.
Yeah.
Locally here, and it's like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Are you getting proposed? Like, what are we?
Right.
Like, why would you even vote on that? Like, what are you talking about?
I know of 2 small towns that are very, very close to here that have actually approved the data centers. And it's like,
and there was
against everybody.
Yeah, everybody
Their city council is saying, no, we're going to do it anyway. I know that literally everyone in the city says no, but we're doing it. And I can only imagine it's because there's a lot of money that comes with it.
A lot of money.
And, I'm not going to go into the whole represent people situation, but that gets a little crazy right now. Things are happening that don't make a lot of sense in the world, and
I think that's the biggest thing is people just don't understand why. And then when you have people like really openly talking about it, like going to city halls and speaking in front of their representatives, and demanding answers on why are you building these, and you're refusing to provide any real explanation, then people are like, something's going on.
Right.
Something's not above water here. Like, if this was in our best interest, you would be a lot more transparent.
That's right.
And I think that, and if they were transparent and it made sense, then people would be more, open to having them in their communities.
Yeah.
But when you just don't share, it's a bad look.
Yeah, yeah. We could always go deeper into those kinds of things, but keeping it on the AI. What do you think? We're gonna end it up with this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the future has in store for us in the world of AI?
So one thing we kind of touched on previously, and I found this a while ago.
Okay.
And I don't understand how it's not mainstream news. But in the war in Ukraine versus Russia, I don't know how long it's been going on now.
Couple
A
years.
lot of people dead.
Yep.
They're using actual robots on the front lines killing people.
Yeah.
And
Which country?
Ukraine is.
Ukraine?
Yes.
They don't have.
The robots that they're using is built by a company in California.
Oh, that makes sense. I was like,
Yeah,
Ukraine
yeah.
didn't have things
But
like
we
that.
have literal Terminator T-20s just mowing people down in an active war zone right now.
Mm-hmm.
No one's talking about it.
Yeah.
And then they're using AI for like targeting.
Yep. Claude. Yep.
Yeah. And Palantir in them. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. It's a weird time.
Yeah. We are at a time where, what did they call it? It's one of those huge opportunities to like be a part of a big change.
Yeah.
That's going to be life changing forever.
Yeah.
And we're living right in the middle of it.
Yeah. I was sitting in a meeting with like 30 people, and the person in charge was like, we are witnessing a industrial revolution.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'd say informational revolution.
Yeah.
Okay. So what exactly do you think is the future of AI though?
I think in 4 years tops, we're losing 80% of the jobs.
Wow, that's a huge amount.
Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody, and they were like, the trades will never go, okay. You can buy a robot right now that's AI powered. It does all of your laundry, does your dishes, does
true.
everything.
That's true.
So you're telling me they can't swing a hammer and turn a wrench?
Yeah.
They can do it, and they can do it without brakes.
Yeah.
Like they're
more
like
efficiently.
The infrastructure, the bridges, how much more safe a robot is working on a bridge than a human being.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about hearing loss.
I don't think they have to do that thing that everyone sees where like one guy's in a hole digging and the other 10 guys stand around.
All the safety stuff.
I don't think they have to do that.
OSHA's out of business.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Then
that's
it's just
thousands of jobs.
Yeah.
Plus the actual workers. You're probably going to have like foremans will still be a thing for a while, right? You got to have someone to lead the robots, but you don't need 50 workers.
Sure.
You can replace 50 workers with 2 foremen.
You would have, if I were like a big site, you would have the robots doing the work. Mm-hmm. You would have your foreman overseeing everything. And you would have like safeties, guys who walk around and just check, who let the foreman know if they see something but that's about it, right? They wouldn't be out there working.
Yeah.
They're just monitoring.
And that's just the labor fields, right? The trades. And, and I wanted to touch on those because people say that those would be the last to go, and I don't see that.
Yeah.
Any office job is gone. I mean, the only jobs that are gonna stay longer, which will probably be replaced eventually, but is like human to human interaction.
Okay.
So like sales. A lot of sales organizations are being slimmed because of what I was talking about, the force multiplier effect. But you're not going to be able to fully eliminate a sales position because, like think about when you get a phone call and you can tell it's a robot, you're hanging up.
All right, absolutely.
So a person has a little bit more opportunity there for person-to-person conversations.
Okay.
But the AI voice trainers are getting insanely good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 5 years though, I mean, The only jobs that are going to be left are going to be like high up decision makers for companies,
Right.
directions for companies.
Mm-hmm.
All the work is going to be done by
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah. I'm with you. I don't know about the time frames, and I don't know about that many, but I definitely think there's huge changes coming. I've been very surprised to see a lot of the things that have turned AI that I didn't expect. I didn't think we would ever go that route with it. I didn't think we would ever say, no, we'll let AI do this. But to move away from the jobs, the other thing, when I look at the future,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to spin this positive and not make this a doom and gloom. Okay.
Good.
I'm going to spin the positive here is, are we not going to witness revolutionary jumps in the medical field?
Yeah, I would say yeah. Yeah, that'd probably be the most beneficial area.
Yeah.
For like fast diagnosis.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think they have surgeries now being performed, like minor surgeries by robots.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty cool. Like you think about the sci-fi movies, and then you jump in the pod, and they're like, "Fix me," and it just analyzes them and then fixes them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real possibility. Like that's a real possibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I aside from just the diagnosing and possibly even the operating or treating of certain things, one of the biggest things, and I think this to me is the biggest thing that I'm rooting for, is finding cures to things. Diagnosing something fully, I know that's a whole nother situation.
Yeah, it is.
But if they could truly figure that out, like figuring out, like I won't go into what diseases and all that stuff that they were talking about, but they were saying that AI figured out that one of the viruses that people have that will stay with them for the rest of their life, they found out that well, they didn't find out. I'm hearing that they are discovering that it wasn't even a virus like they believed it to be. It was actually a parasite.
Yeah, that's coming up a lot lately.
And they're like, the problem is they can't find anything to get rid of the parasite, and it has like all this protective stuff around it, and it keeps it'll come out, it'll do its thing for a little bit, and then whenever you start trying to treat it, it covers itself and protects itself again, and they can't get rid of it, and that's why it sticks with people for the rest of their life. But the question is we are not the question, but the thing is they always thought it was a virus, and now they're saying, well, maybe it wasn't a virus, it's a parasite. They just don't know how to get rid of it. So now they got to find a way to get to it.
Yeah, break down its defense.
Yeah, break down its defenses and get it out. And that is something that AI figured out.
Yeah.
And if it's true, who knows what's real.
Right.
But I thought that was pretty wild, because how many other things are we thinking that are like, oh, this is how this works? Mm-hmm. And then is this going to shine new light on it and go, oh, that's why we can never connect these dots and make this happen?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be a great use and advancement of AI for sure. We need some positivity out there because there's a lot of negative.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah. I would love to say that we could turn this into a very good thing, and it only be positive. I'm not going to be that optimistic, but because right now there's so much negativity, but also there are some potentially good things that could come from it too.
Yeah.
And I hope it goes that way.
Right.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to bring up?
No, I think we covered a good bit. It's a lot of information to take in.
Mm-hmm.
We may revisit this topic because it is rapidly evolving.
Yes.
So we may have to come back to it as things get more and more crazy.
Yeah.
And maybe we get some more answers on the
I hope so.
data center front and stuff.
Yeah.
So
and if you guys know of anything that you would like to add to this,
Yeah,
please
yeah,
let
for
us know.
sure.
But all right, well, that was a fun one.
That was
a lot of fun. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging in there with us, and we will see you on the next episode.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.